Well, hello and welcome to glennzb TV for Monday, the show that puts glennzb up your Periscope. I'm bringing New Zealand to the world and the world to New Zealand. I'm going to start by bringing New Zealand to the world first, though, as we got high drama in Nelson around the airport area today because a truck with a bunch of gas cylinders on the back of it, so it's all gone up in flames. Luckily, the driver's fine, and even more luckily, this is all happening on Quarantine Road. So the fire department is saying they need at least a 500-metre radius to deal with this situation. I figure if you're going to get that anywhere, it's on a road called Quarantine Road, and I figure that nobody's anywhere near it. Here's hoping. Now, French officials, they've described the flash flooding they've had on the French Riviera there over the weekend as like an apocalypse. And I'm not wanting to make light of this because I know that people have died, but I just always pictured the apocalypse as being fiery for some reason, not damp. But they see that it's apocalyptic-like conditions there. I guess also I'd always pictured either robots or zombies being involved too. I think zombies function pretty well underwater. I'm not sure about robots. Do they just rust up? Is that how we beat the robot apocalypse? A lot of unanswered questions on the show this morning. Speaking of wetness, we've got flooding going on in the States as well. Georgetown, South Carolina, for example. Look at this poor bloke from CNN wandering around in his gumboots, or his Wellingtons if you're in England, and his waterproof pants. Hey California, is it raining there? It never rains in California, but girl don't they warn you. He's got his big CNN coat on. An interesting choice that he's made there, tucking the pants into the boots. I usually leave the waterproof pants on the outside because otherwise your boots can fill up quite quickly that way. Not quite sure why, and I've talked about this before, but I really think it's worth bringing up again. Why do they have to put the reporters actually in the weather? Can they not just take a picture of the weather and have somebody talking about it? In actual fact, if you pan this direction, there was a completely dry street there. It's basically he found a bit of the street that was in a puddle. I feel a bit sorry for those reporters they sent out into the weather for no real reason. I don't think we need to see the reporter in the weather to know that there's weather. Says the guy wearing a coat inside because the air conditioning's too cold. I just want to finish up here. I'm trying to get some clarification on exactly what I can and can't say on my show because New Zealand's Rip It Up magazine, which I didn't even know still existed, but apparently it does. And the reason I know this is because they did a review of a sort of a hip-hop movie called Dope, and they used the N-word several times in the review, and now they're copping flack, and now they've had to take the review down, and it's caused all sorts of ructions. And apparently you're not allowed to use the N-word unless you're of a certain... I'm not quite sure. We had a guy on this morning and he wasn't that clear on exactly which people are allowed. Some people are allowed to use it apparently. And he seemed to be intimating that if you are an N-word, you're allowed to use an N-word. But to me, it's a bit strange. It's like saying F-word when we all know exactly what the word is that you mean. What's the difference if we all know what the word is between saying N-word and saying the actual word? It's very strange, isn't it? Like, we can say N-word as much as we like, but we can't actually say the N-word. We can say F-word, but we can't actually say the F-word. It's like... It's on Father Ted when they say feckin'. When we know what they really mean. They're just words, people. Can we get over words? Is there any such thing as hate speech, or is it just our reaction to it that's hateful? That was a deep way to end Monday's edition of glennzb TV, wasn't it? Wasn't expecting to go there. Maybe I've turned a corner. Maybe that's what I wanted to say. Maybe I don't know what I'm saying because I'm still tired after the weekend. Anyway, thanks for having me up your Periscope. I'll see you back here around about this time tomorrow.